Hello and welcome back to Heart of the Holte. Today we've got a bit of a different video. You've not obviously seen a video like this sort of sit down video for a while now. Probably when the past few transfers have happened in the summer, because it has mainly been podcasts recently. Just a quick video to explain that there won't be a podcast this week due to some technical difficulties. As you can see, we're in a bit of a different environment this week. I've finally moved into my flat for university in Manchester, so there's no internet at the minute, so it's kind of a bit difficult for me and Dan to get a podcast out to you. Next week though, there will be some changes in how the podcast is being recorded. Will be more of a video style, hopefully, touch wood, so you will be able to see mine and Dan's mugs discussing all things Aston Villa next week, hopefully all going well. And while we're here as well, we should probably talk about last night, 2-1 defeat to Norwich. I mean, going into this game, Norwich, I think, were unbeaten in about 8. They've creeped into the playoff places. It was always going to be a fairly difficult game. Norwich seemed to be one of our bogey teams. I don't think we've won in our last 3 trips to Carrow Road, which is quite it's not a very good stat really. And away from home, we've not really been the best. Under Dean Smith, his second game in charge, it's interesting to see how he's implementing his philosophy already. And Villa Twitter really wasn't a great place last night. A lot of people slating the players, the team, the performance, and we really do need to give it time, because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just the same old, you're seeing some hoofball, but sometimes you do have to go more direct. And I think with Dean Smith's preferred sort of 4-2-3-1 formation that we'd seen him implement at Brentford, he played it at home at Swansea last week. We could see what he was trying to do this week. Obviously, the Championship it's an extremely difficult league, and within a week you can be from 16th up to 6th with how many games are being played. And again, this week the fixtures weren't very kind to us. Obviously playing Saturday against Swansea, then Tuesday last night playing away to Norwich at Carrow Road, and then we're obviously playing on Friday against QPR in the evening, which 2 away games in the same week. They're not really considering the Villa fans, and I appreciate someone has to play Norwich away from home at midweek, but not very good for us to have 2 away games back to back, with only a day or 2 in between to rest. And Smith was limited with his personnel, as McGinn had got himself suspended. The Icelandic Prince Birkir Bjarnason obviously clearly being rested for Friday, so we had a midfield of Hurahan and Whelan both sitting deep, and as I say, you could see the formation, you could see what he wanted to do, which is good. And I think the only thing that really let Villa down last night was the fitness and sort of positional sense. Playing this many games in a week is always going to be tough, and we shouldn't really complain about it too much, because everyone in the Championship gets it. But it's clear to see that the pressing game that Dean Smith likes to play and is known to play, the players just aren't really up for it at the minute. You could pick out a few like El Mohammadi, McGinn, maybe kind of phasing games, but El Mohammadi is probably one of the only members in the squad who's fit enough to play. Adoma as well. I think if he hadn't have gone off injured, it would have been a different game, because although you may not like Albert Adoma, what he does defensively for the team, Smith likes. He wants wingers that have the work rate, because as we saw last week with Yannick Bolasie at Swansea, he did absolutely nothing, provided Taylor with no cover when he came on. So I think in terms of wingers, El Mohammadi and Adoma are going to be popular choices for Dean Smith, especially as I say, it's important that they help back defensively, and they've got the work rate to press up forward as well. Hutton as well last night didn't have a very good game in my opinion. He's not been very good at all this season, positionally constantly out of position. For me really, although Norwich's goals were very good, you can't really take much away from them, playing some very good football. Alan Hutton was at fault for both of them in my opinion, and Smith's getting used to the squad. He's got to look and see who he's got, who he can trust. I see a lot of people, everyone on Twitter seemed to be absolutely screaming for El Ghazi to play after his tweet saying he was in the stands, but last night didn't really offer a lot other than that one ball that he played into Hogan. So we've got to be patient with the lads, as I say, because he's getting to know everyone. He's not really had an awful lot of time with the full squad. Hutton may be playing right back now, but in a few weeks' time, that may be James Bree. He's going to experiment. I think the only positions that seem to be nailed on really are for Chester and Tanzabi, because we don't really have any other options at centre back. It's good to see James Chester in the goals again. He loves a goal, doesn't he? Got this clip from last night from Tom, who was a part of our Holte Cam team of the goal, and you can actually see before, and the bloke's calling it James Chester 1-0.
Swing one in. Chester 1-0. Chester. Yeah!
yeah, you know, respect to everyone who went to Norwich. I think we've all got to, as I said, we've got to be patient. We can see what Dean Smith's implementing, and you know, as Bruce said, only smart people can see what the manager's doing. So I think we're all smart as we can see what Smith's trying to achieve. It's just going to take time. We've got to be patient. We've got to roll on QPR. It's going to be a tough game. I believe they're unbeaten in 3 wins in a row for QPR. We have kind of slipped out of down the table quite a bit. I do believe Birmingham are ahead of us now, but you know, as I say, within a week anything can change in the Championship. So hopefully, you know, Dean Smith can carry on positively. As the win at Swansea was very good. I think there were positives to take away from Norwich. You know, the goal from Chesney being one. I think Neil Taylor, although I have been a massive critic of his over time, and if you listen to the podcasts, you'd know, but Neil Taylor looks like a completely different player. Looks confident, you know, looking to get forward. So that's what we like to see from our fullbacks. We just got to back the lads to the hill, roll on QPR on Friday, and hope that the Dean Smith and Aston Villa way will improve as time goes on. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, comment your thoughts below on Norwich away. Obviously a loss, but as I say, I think there were some positives to take from it. And subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate your support that we've got recently on the channel. We have now surpassed 700 subscribers. The past few podcasts have almost accumulated a total of 5,000 views. So me and Dan are really grateful for that. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another podcast. I'm sorry it's not your usual listening and you've had to see my mug, but hopefully next week we'll be back with a podcast. So like, comment, subscribe, and up the Villa.